Thank you, and welcome back to Race Industry Week 2023. George Tamayo is with us while we wait for Stephane Fillastre to join us. A big thank you to our sponsor, ETS Racing Fuel, Fifth Third Bank Motorsport, Peak, Penske Racing Sharks, Scott Lewis Associate, Total Seal Piston Rings, ARP, Performance Plus Global Logistic, and Shop Monkey. They help us cover the production of this event, and that way we can make it free for everyone in the industry from around the world to watch us today. So Stephane Fillastre is out of Dubai. He is with us right now. Thank you for being us. Bonjour, Stephane. Thank you for being with us today.
A very warm thank you from Dubai, where the temperature, as you can imagine, is 37 degrees today.
Oh.
Well, once again, good evening, good day, good morning for the audience, for this global audience. It's very nice to see you, George. Honored and excited to be part of this prestigious panel of key leaders in motorsport. And
likewise, thank you for joining us. Let me introduce you a little bit more formally, Stephane. You are currently the head of brand licensing and retail at the FIA. And of course, we find you in Dubai this morning at the COP28 seminar. But tell us a little bit more, just to get us started, about your role within the FIA.
Well, first of all, I would like to take the opportunity to say that I'm grateful to still learning my job, because I only started motorsport 11 years ago, even if I'm already 53. And I came in this global organization in a moment where effectively the brand was becoming a fundamental element of what the president at that time, Jean Todt, wanted to build. So the job was new. I had to take this opportunity. Obviously, now President Mohammed Ben Sulayem is effectively as well extremely pushing to have this brand building and to ensure that effectively the FIA brand effectively exists on its own, but I think more importantly, with the stakeholders that we have to embark with us in this journey. So we have the luxury to have 244 plus clubs, which are the members of the FIA, as we all know, motorsport and motoring clubs, which are representing over 2 million of license holders and over 80 million motorists in the world. So it is a community which is extremely vast. Obviously, our promoters, I understand that you already had a lot of very strong and insightful in-depth dive from our promoters. And it is a community which is obviously vital to take care of. And then finally, but Francis knows very much about that, the industry and the sponsors and the partners with which motorsport would not be possible. So effectively, the FIA brand has to be relevant, has to be well positioned, has to work for all those stakeholders for sure.
And so on that note, I think that those of us in the industry are very familiar with the FIA, but in terms of your mission as the head of the brand, how important is it to you that people outside of that inner circle of people within the industry know and understand the value and what the FIA brings to mobility in society as a wider issue?
Effectively, I mean, the critical point here is that, and I appreciate the fact that we have a motorsport audience. We have a motorsport and a motoring community, which make the FIA quite exciting every day, because we have to work with those two elements, which are sometimes in competition, but most of the time, I would say, united, because we are facing more and more the same challenges. So without going too much into a brand exercise explanation, it is true that, first of all, the brand has to be relevant. And the relevancy of the brand comes effectively with the positioning, the message, and how you effectively, through your acts, you are credible. I think that with the leadership of our current president, what is very much important is to understand that we want to have a global voice. So we want to speak to grassroots, but also to elite sports. So we want to have this united community that works very, very well together. The second message, which is quite important, is that we have to maintain a high level of purpose. I mean, it is important that we are maintaining and keeping value to society. So the sustainability agenda and what we're doing in the forefront of motorsport and motoring is the perfect demonstration of those actions. But also in other fields, campaigns we are engaging, such as United Against Online Abusers, which is at the moment, as unfortunately we can all live, a very important subject. So the relevancy of the federations is also very critical. Last point maybe is about innovation, technology, and the acceleration of the implementation of the technology and the innovation. I think everyone knows that motorsport is a perfect showcase of technology, is probably the best showcase of the technology. And this is what we have to promote in the way we're communicating our image and our brand. The second part is more down to earth and more practical, which is once you have built the narrative and what the brand is about and what the brand is entitled to deliver to the different audience we want to embark with us, is visibility. So my job from that perspective has been through many years with our promoters, but also with the industry, to ensure that the FIA brand is recognized as a seal of authority, a seal of safety, and a seal of motorsport promotion, so that we can effectively have all those hats being worn and be promoted. And a very practical element to that, and we accomplished this work in 2021, was to have the integration of the FIA master icon, out of which you can see a big version on my back that is now part of all the World Championship logos, just really much to very establish and promote the values I was describing earlier.
Yeah, very good. You mentioned one of the things in the mission of the FIA is a push towards sustainability. And of course, you're in Dubai at the COP28 conference. And one of the things that I noted in looking at where the FIA's mission is headed is this idea of sustainable mobility for all. But I think the FIA was very careful to underscore the fact that that doesn't mean it's a one-size solution for all or one-size-fits-all solution. And especially as your goal is to drive to sort of a net zero in terms of carbon by 2030. What can you tell us about this idea of that there isn't just a one-size-fits-all solution? What is the FIA's position in it? And relevant to our audience, how does motorsport help you to either move that goal forward or promote that message a bit further?
Alors, it is true that we are honored, pleased, and we take this opportunity to be officially part of COP28 days to effectively have the capacity to promote and to speak on behalf of our club members and promoters about what we're doing. The situation being quite complex, so effectively at a certain point you have to streamline and to ensure that the narrative is strong. So maybe to recap the initiatives we want to conduct, because I think there is at the moment an emergency to demonstrate by proof of evidences that we are effectively supporting and we are also part of the climate change journey. There are probably three main things. So the first one is very much having a pragmatic and grassroots approach. So we have an FIA Sustainable Mobility Program funded with the FIA Foundation, which supports sustainable, accessible, and inclusive mobility projects. So we are literally effectively scouting, scoping, and investing into projects that do take place at a national level. We are also partnering with the United Nations Environment Program, UNEP, and the United Nations Economic Commission for Europe, which are as well bodies which are enabling programs to effectively ensure that we are fostering and we're increasing the capacity of the actors in the field to be sure that they are hitting their target. So very much acting as an incubator to be sure that everyone has a good solution, can get access to the knowledge and to the fundings that we do have. Another initiative where we are effectively here in Dubai is to promote what we do call internally the Championship of the Everyday Driver, which is an app which is artificial intelligence based, and that helps not the driver to how to drive, but to be literally more efficient and effectively to be sure that, because most of the drives are constraints nowadays, we're trying to have them with micromanaged tool to be sure that they can decrease by 15, 20, 25% their CO2 impact. And by making that number big, you can effectively get a significant impact, which is great. The second thing,
let me ask you, Stephane, with that as
sure.
an example, can you share with us how much take-up you're getting so far, how much participation you're getting so far with that?
So we have been launching this program back in 2019. It is a program which is mainly distributed by our member clubs, as we want to effectively have the capacity to provide them a global platform that they can distribute. We have been reaching over 20,000 drivers around the world. The strong development of this platform is that we are completely car agnostic, and we can effectively operate in the world, as we don't really need too much of data batches to have the scoring. And again, the idea is to gamify with a spirit of having a carrot as the end of the nice drive to reward the positive behaviors when it comes to the everyday drive. We also have developments with professional fleets, which is a very big subject. We know that here there is a fundamental agenda that needs to be tackled. And we are keeping promoting this technology because we do believe that specifically artificial intelligence will be a great support in the coming year to help the everyday drivers to be more efficient.
And again, when you were talking about that idea of the sustainable mobility for all and a goal towards greater efficiency, a move toward renewable fuels and things like that. I think that the FIA's position is not sort of to say in any way, shape, or form that one of the technologies, whether it's an internal combustion engine or a hybrid or a battery, that all of these things play a part. And you can see that in the various FIA championships, where there are different engine technologies that are at use in the various. You have everything from Formula E, which is all electric, to Formula One, which is a hybrid technology, and then championships in between. Does this platform that you're promoting again try to bring people together in that goal toward a sustainable mobility by not demonizing any one particular element of how we as a society are mobile?
Exactly. If you take the technology angle, you perfectly summarize that we are scanning a scope which is extremely vast, not talking about what we're doing with life cycle assessment tools, the hydrogen implementation, as we all know, that will come in our 24 hours events, such as with Extreme E. There is also all the developments which are about the new generation of fuels, which is an extremely strong development that we have to push. By nature, because we have a global organization and because we effectively operate on all those countries, we have effectively to design a global message, but a local implementation. I mean, paraphrasing what big companies have been doing years ago, think global, but act local. I mean, this is definitely what we have to do. It is a challenge, but I would say it is a superb opportunity because and you get so much to know from your members, from your stakeholders about the technology they are bringing, that it makes the journey very exciting. I think the challenge that we have then now is effectively, to your point, being sure that it is accessible. So we are carving out maybe any IP issue that can come around. Then there's the cost element, which is important. And I think the presidential team and the executive leadership team have been working a lot to ensure that effectively we are keeping motorsport at a level of financials which it make it strong and viable for the future. Being absolutely sure that when we have a technology we can bring, we can effectively then export the technology to other markets and ensure that it is well developed. Formula E is definitely one of the showcase we have. I think they have been demonstrating, especially with the Gen 3 car, that we have the highest rate of recyclability. So yes, this level, I would say this race is never stopping. There will be no winner. It can only be through the mass participation of the actors that we can make something that makes sense to all of us. I would also say that one of the rules, and sometimes we can be criticized for that, is the ruling and the complexity of certain rules we have. But it is for sure, since the 1990s, I mean, safety is a very high motto in our federations. And we have to be absolutely sure that when a new technology, being very innovative or very affordable, does go into the market and does go into force, we are sure that the highest level of safety is matched for, first of all, our drivers, the teams, mechanics, track marshals, and obviously the fans in the end. This is absolutely fundamental.
Yeah, there's no question the FIA has been a huge leader of safety improvements in the last 30 years, where you look back at some old race videos and you almost shudder to think that's what we used to compete on, and now the level of safety is extraordinary. I want to change gears real quickly to another new initiative this year, which was the FIA President's Awards that were handed out. A lot of diverse awards. One of them went to the Motorsports sanctioning body in Australia for their work in I think in inclusion. Tell us a little bit about what the FIA President's Awards are about and what you hope to achieve with them.
Alors, the achievement is definitely on very specific subjects, to have the capacity, first of all, to recognize, reward, and promote the talent and the knowledge of our clubs. It is true to say that sometimes there is no point to reinvent the wheel, and you have a lot of talents sitting next door. Just the capacity to know about that and to have access to it. And I think our president has been particularly engaged in that moment to ensure that effectively we were promoting those different purposes. I would say that as a general element, I think there is a will to promote and to recognize the talent. We also have, as part of our prize giving, an FIA Innovation Medal, which was awarded last year to Sir Gordon Murray. This year, we are still keeping that confidential for the moment. We're going to award another leader in the field of motorsport and motoring. But again, those awards are here to, first of all, promote the diversity, the knowledge, the professionalism of our clubs and the different talents we do have, and it is our role to make this promotion. And the purpose of those awards are effectively very much to do so and to give this access to our community.
I think that the FIA is known, again, to most of us in the motorsport community as largely speaking a regulatory body. It runs a variety of championships, everything from Formula One at the top to across a whole range of championships that are not world championship designations as well. When you're talking about motorsport across so many levels, can you tell us a little bit about what the FIA is doing to grow not only the participant base, to make it more accessible, to make it more inclusive, to make it more diverse, but also what are some things that are happening that are cultivating a greater participation from an audience base as well in motorsport? I think that the FIA has partnered with the Hamilton Commission as one of the initiatives. Are there more things like that you can tell us about?
No, absolutely. Sometimes I have friends or people who don't very much exactly what the FIA is doing, asking me, but actually, Stephane, you have a brilliant job because you have no competitors. And I say, well, actually, we do have competitors, which are the other sports. So we have to ensure that we're keeping, going back to what I was mentioning previously, the relevancy to our new audience. New audience, not particularly meaning young people. It can be new audience, as the female audience, for example, as we tended to see appearing. just before pandemic with some beautiful activities that the media were providing, such as the Drive to Survive TV series, which has been acclaimed by the world of motorsport, and we know it has opened certain will to be part of motorsport. I think you have three levels when it comes to fan and participation. So when you act on a global level, for sure, we are initiating centrally at the FIA, and we're leading centrally at the FIA activities which are designed to be mass participation, to be grassroots, which is easy to understand, easy to access in terms of money, and which do have the same standard across the world. So I can mention everything which we have been doing over the last years with esports, mainly with the collaboration of the IOC, so the Olympic Committee, with the first Olympic Esports Week that took place in Singapore, with other sports, which was very exciting because for the first time, motorsport as a whole was recognized under the Olympic rings in a sanctioned event. But also what we're doing with publishers like iRacing, which has a fantastic community, very engaged community, over 250,000 monthly passionate digital races. So those are ways where you can effectively demonstrate, showcase, present your rules, and make a fair and accessible access to motorsport championships. We have the Motorsport Games, which is our global platform for our clubs, which take place every 2 years. So we have 26 disciplines. So it's a very much accessible to all of our countries, from, again, karting slalom to GT cars. And here again, it is a way for our club members to be part of an FIA sanctioned event, which is not always the case in not all the countries. There have been also activities developed by the sporting department and the development department under the leadership of our deputy president, Mr. Robert Reed, like Motorsport in a Box and Affordable Cross Cars, which are blueprint matrix that are effectively open and given to our clubs so they can effectively start to build motorsport in our country. Because we shouldn't forget that we have, let's say, significant numbers of clubs which are very small organizations. So we really have to help them. So which brings me to the second point, which is the regional support. I think we have now implemented a new matrix of regional coordinators, which again are helping the national clubs to get together and to, let's say, share and conquer better what is the motorsport opportunities. And here again, there's a lot of knowledge that can be shared. So we have those regional hubs which are spearheading knowledge, and you can imagine that we don't have exactly the same motorsport in Asia that in Latin America. So it is a perfect way to capture those differences. And again, it's about to be sure that we're keeping the cost of racing low, because it is adapted to effectively what is the purchasing powers of those countries. And at the national level, obviously, we've been mentioning the awards, but we have been also redesigning across the new leadership team the way we were assigning grants and where national projects can be supported. So from marshal trainings to young drivers program. So it is, by nature, one of the fundamental tasks that the FIA wants to have, which is still keeping a grip of that. So to recap, global, important, well-promoted events which do have the same platform, the same matrix, the same accessibility. And then where you're going down, you capture slightly better what makes the specificity of the regions and the countries, just to be sure that what you're doing remains relevant.
Yeah, that's awesome. And can you give us again a little bit of maybe of insight in how are these programs working? Are they achieving their aims? Are they moving the ball forward in terms of where you want the end goal to be?
Maybe I will use one of the recent numbers we have been receiving from a research agency called Nielsen, which is delivering a barometer of what about the sports in general. It appears that motorsport is top 10 when when it comes to most liked and appreciated sport on planet. So when you consider that to the numbers of licensing, it is quite an achievement. So I believe what we're delivering, and I have to thank the promoters, the teams, the manufacturers, we are delivering an exciting sport, and I think the agenda is bright. So effectively through that work, and I would say it's a collective work, we are ticking the box about ensuring that the fans do receive a very exciting, safe, and fair regulated sports, which is very important. When it comes to effectively ensuring that we are giving access and more access at a national level to the kid, I would say that the long is still very, very long. It does require financial resources. So we had to digest the difficult phases of financial, let's say, turbulence over the last years. Now I think we are in a far more better position. So it will probably for us a way to re-engage with more programs. So we had the Rally Star program that happened in the world, which was the talent detection program, where we wanted to help getting talents from the world being able to become a rally world champion. There are other initiatives we have with the Girls on Track activities and the way we also want to have some of our female drivers to be able to reach the top of the single-seaters disciplines. Again, the esports is an extremely exciting and easy to access route. But again, what is important is that we ensure that our clubs do have the right financial resources and blueprint to be able to build at a national level good detection and supporting plan.
That is excellent. And Stephane, I think our time is up for today, but thank you so much for joining us. Much success in the conference as you continue on. And thank you for the work that the FIA is doing, because it really does benefit our industry as a whole.
Again, thank you very much.
Thank you, Stephane. I'm delighted you were able to join us. I've known Stephane for 15 years. I love his energy, his passion, his commitment to racing. And I think it was very important. I wanted people to take the opportunity to understand that the FIA is a lot more than people writing rules. And Stephane's job really describes what the FIA is as a whole. And you did a beautiful job, Stephane, today explaining everything. So thank you very much. Good evening.
Registering on Epartrade is easy. To start, click on the Join for Free button on the homepage. First, search your company to see if it's already in our database. If you see your company on the list, click on it to select it. Then, choose Claim Company if you are one of the decision makers, an owner, marketing person, or main company contact. Or choose Join Company if you are an employee, and press Continue. If you couldn't find your company in our database, select Register a New Company. On the following page, fill out your name, email, phone number, job title, and choose a secure password. If you chose Register a New Company, you'll need to choose your business type. Select Supplier if you're looking to display products or services and connect with buyers. Choose Racing Business if you're looking to source new parts and connect with suppliers. Choose Race Team if you own or are a member of a professional race team. Then, enter your company name. Please provide a website, Facebook page, or LinkedIn if you have one, and choose to either claim or join the company. You can view and agree to our terms of use here. If you'd like to receive our weekly newsletter, choose Accept. Finally, click Register Now and your registration will be submitted for approval. An email will be sent to your inbox. Please confirm your email address and you will be approved shortly. Welcome to Epartrade.